We're going to continue on factorising some polynomials, but look at ones that bring a kind of extra dimension to the question. So let's try this one. We're going to factorise x to the power 4 minus 7x squared minus 18. So in theory, here are the potential factors. Okay, so I'm going to first of all try 1 and set up a synthetic division. Now, it's tempting to put down my coefficients as being 1 minus 7 minus 18. That seems like the obvious thing to do. We need to be careful with an example like this. In between the power 4 and the power 2, there is an x cubed term. It just so happens that it's 0x cubed. And in between the x squared and the constant, there's an x term, but that's a 0x term. So it's better to think of x to the power 4 minus 7x squared minus 18 is x to the power 4 plus 0x cubed minus 7x squared plus 0x minus 18. So we need to account for 0 coefficients. So again, thinking about x to the power 4 minus 7x squared minus 18 is x to the power 4 plus 0x cubed minus 7x squared plus 0x minus 18. And so the coefficients are 1, 0, minus 7, 0 and minus 18. Okay, so we're trying 1. So drop that one down. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 minus 7 is minus 6. Multiply that by 1 is minus 6 again. Minus 6 plus 0 is minus 6. Multiply that by 1, and that's minus 6. Minus 6 plus minus 18 is minus 24, which is a non-zero remainder. Therefore, that's not a factor. So let's try this time. Minus 1. Okay, drop the 1 down. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 0 is minus 1. Multiply that by minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 7 is minus 6. Minus 6 times minus 1 is 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. Minus 6 minus 18 is minus 24. Okay, non-zero remainder, so that one didn't work either. Let's try 3. Okay, drop the 1 down. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. And 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. R equals 0. Therefore, the solution of 3 coming from the bracket of x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so let's list that there. And we've now got x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 6. Okay, now we're tasked with factorising this. X cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 6. And if you think about it, that's just another example of a polynomial, which we'll need to set a synthetic division with, since it's a cubic as opposed to just a quadratic. So I just need to repeat the process now to factorise this, but this time thinking about factors of 6. So let's try at random this time. Minus 3 and see how we're going. So that'll be 1, 3, 2 and 6. There's no 0 coefficients. Drop the 1 down. 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 times minus 3 is minus 0 times minus 3 rather is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2 and 2 times minus 3 is minus 6, so that one works. R equals 0, therefore the solution of x minus 3 coming from the bracket of x plus 3 is a factor. Okay, so now we've got the original bracket being x minus 3 and then x plus 3. And now we've got x squared plus 0x, which I don't need to list, plus 2. X squared plus 2 can't be factorised any further, so that is the thing fully factorised. Okay, so we're going to just take this a small step forward. If you think about the question, if you were asked to factorise x squared plus 7x plus 12, well, that would be x plus 3x plus 4. But if you were asked to solve the equation x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0, well, it's almost exactly the same in terms of the skill required to do the question. But you just need to go one step further, which is to solve for x, and that would give me minus 3 and minus 4. So we're going to do a similar thing here. Rather than ask you to factorise the polynomial, we're going to look at actually solving the polynomial. So we're going to solve for the first one, x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 is equal to 0. The last number being 6, so our potential factors are all the positive and negative numbers that go in as a factor to 6. That's plus or minus 1, 2, 3 and 6. Okay, so let's try 1 to get going. Okay, check for coefficients. It's 1, minus 4, 1 again, and 6. There's no 0 coefficients. Okay, drop the 1 down. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Minus 3 times 1 is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. Minus 2 times 1 is minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. That's a non-zero remainder, so 1 didn't work. Okay, this time let's try minus 1. Drop 1 down. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. Minus 1 times minus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. R equals 0. Therefore, that's a factor, and that's the bracket x plus 1. So it's x plus 1 bracket x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Can then factorise that further. Two numbers that multiply give 6, add together give minus 5 is minus 3 and minus 2 is equal to 0, which means x plus 1 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0, which will give me 3 solutions. X equals minus 1, x equals 3, and x equals 2. Okay, let's try another. We're going to solve x cubed minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so here are my factors at the side that may work. So let's try 1. Coefficients being 1. There's a 0x squared coefficient, so I must include that. And then minus 3 and plus 2. Drop the 1 down. 1 times 1 is 1. Then 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Minus 2 times 1 is minus 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So r equals 0. Therefore, x minus 1 is a factor. And down here we've got x squared plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Two numbers that multiply give 1, add together give minus 2. So that will be x plus 2 bracket x minus 1 is equal to 0. So that will give me x minus 1 is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So I've got a repeated answer there of x equals 1 and x equals minus 2. Let's try another, which is going to be solve 6x cubed minus 11x squared minus 19x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so there's my potential factors. Again, let's start with 1. We've got 6 minus 11 minus 19 minus 6, no 0 coefficients. Drop the 6 down. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 minus 11 is minus 5. Minus 5 times 1 is minus 5. Minus 5 minus 19 is minus 24. Minus 24 times 1 is minus 24. Minus 24 minus 6 is minus 30. Didn't work, so let's try minus 1. Okay, drop the 6 down. 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. Minus 6 minus 11 is minus 17. Minus 17 times minus 1 is 17. Minus 19 plus 17 is minus 2. Minus 2 times minus 1 is 2. So minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. Okay, it didn't work, so let's try 2. Drop the 6 down. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 11 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 19 is minus 17. Minus 17 times 2 is minus 34. Minus 34 minus 6 is minus 40. Okay, that didn't work, so let's try minus 2. Drop the 6 down. 6 times minus 2 is minus 12. Minus 12 minus 11 is minus 23. Minus 23 times minus 2 is plus 46. 46 minus 19 is 27. 27 times minus 2 is minus 54. Minus 54 minus 6 is minus 60. Didn't work, so let's try another. Okay, so let's try 3 this time. So again, my coefficients are 6 minus 11 minus 19 minus 6. Drop the 6 down. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 11 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 minus 19 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. So we got there, r equals 0. Therefore, x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so x minus 3 is a factor, and that will be 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. So let's factorise that further. Okay, so 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Two numbers that multiply give 12, add together give 7 is 3 and 4. Okay, so we can factorise further by taking out a factor of 3 from the first bracket and 2 from the second. So that will be 2x plus 1 bracket 3x plus 2. Okay, equal to 0. So we've got x minus 3 is equal to 0. 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So that'll be x equals 3. 2x equals minus 1. 3x equals minus 2. So x equals 3, x equals minus 1 over 2, and x equals minus 2 over 3. That's the final answer. Expect these questions to also come up with a kind of language like find the roots, which also means solve the equation, or also find where the polynomial cuts the x-axis, which also means solve the equation.